This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today. All right, D-Gens, welcome back to the Golf Gambling Podcast, the second show I am actually recording today. I am Steve Schirmer, and filling in for Boston Capper for a to-be-determined time is Matt Gannon. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. I am happy to be here. Capper's doing well, for those wondering. He's on the way up. But for the time being, I will be filling in for Capper. He knows he's in good hands, and we got some good content coming your guys' way. We're gonna keep doing the same schedule for the most part. I'm gonna still do my stuff, but happy to be here. Let's get to it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, listen, it very well could be a situation where you just Wally Pip him. You know, it's very possible. Well. You know, sometimes these just things happen, Capper. So maybe you want to rush back soon before this young guy takes your job here. So, all right. So we got the Memorial this week. I talked a little bit on my show this morning. Let me just, this is just like a general question. So, you know, as we get kind of into the summer months here, are you watching as much golf as you did back in the winter there? Or are you kind of like me where the weather's getting nicer, kind of want to stay outside, and you're kind of feeling like maybe you're getting a little disconnected from what's actually happening on the course?
Yeah, well, for you, the weather's getting nicer. For me, it's raining more than it's ever rained before, since like I'm in the middle of like rain season, hurricane season down in Florida. So yeah, I'm still watching a bunch of golf. Like the winter is my summer where I'm going out and playing golf. So now it's raining all the time. I'm still watching as much golf as possible. And this is an exciting stretch. We got 2 more majors left. Obviously, this week is going to be awesome. So I guess throughout the rest of the season, I'm going to be dialed in watching as much golf as possible.
That is true. I mean, my parents live in Florida, and they actually, they're like, oh, we should live here year round. I'm like, you would not be able to handle July and August down there. Like,
I haven't been here for then yet either. So I'm not like, I don't know what to expect. Like, it's starting to get warmer by the day. And like, I am like, oh, I'm hearing, oh, just wait, it's going to get even hotter. So I know Joe Idoni's been telling me that we haven't seen anything yet. So I'm excited. But also nervous.
Yeah, maybe you can become one of those early like snowbirds, you know, at the ripe age of 23 or something. Yeah,
I would love to
go get a place up in Pennsylvania or New York. Come up here. I mean, it was 75 degrees today. Real perfect weather up here. So, but that's the thing. Like, I don't really want to be inside watching like the Colonial. Sure. I mean, probably this week though, we got the Memorial, much better field, good golf course. You know, I think we might see some car crashes this week based on how the course conditions might be. So I'll probably hold my attention a little bit, which makes you transition to the Memorial. So I got on the podcast this morning. I kind of talked about things I'm looking for. I guess what particular skill sets or what particular leans are you kind of looking for when you're making picks this week?
Yeah, this is one of those weeks where you got to have the complete bag. We see a major-esque leaderboard year in, year out at this golf course, and that basically goes to and a winning score of -10 to -13. You can't fake it here. You got to have every shot in the bag. So the best players will rise to the top in this field, or just like last year, we saw Billy Horschel have a outlier week, but he had all the shots that week. So you're gonna need every shot in the bag. You're gonna need to have a skill set that you would at a majority of the major venues.
Yeah, that was frustrating last year. I think I had a ticket on Aaron Wise, and I bet Horschel at Colonial, and he stunk. He stunk that week. I'm like, I'm done with him. You know, never again. I think I actually came on the show. I'm like, you know, screw this guy. And of course he goes to win, you know, because, you know, everything you say on a podcast sometimes just shifts the universe right there. So, yeah, like I mentioned up here, like we haven't gotten a lot of rain. And I know this is New York, but I mean, we're about 6-7 hours from Columbus, Ohio. And I looked at the weather forecast there. They're not going to get any rain this week. They haven't really gotten a lot of rain the last couple of weeks. And I know here it's really firm. And I keep thinking back to that 2020 Memorial, the one where they just let the course just kind of go to hell. It was firm. Like the winning score, I think, was 9 under or 10 under by John Rahm, but he won by like four or five.
Yeah, that was after the workday when Morikawa won, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It was before the renovation there. I have a feeling that we might get similar conditions that we're going to see this week. Yeah. I think it's going to be firm. It's going to be difficult. I think the green regulation rate is going to be really low. And I think I'm going to be targeting really good iron players, good scramblers. off the tee this week, this course tends to favor a more accurate guy. I might shade a little more towards that or just the length and accuracy. But yeah, definitely iron play, scrambling, putting I'm a little more forgiving on just based on some guys who have done well here. But yeah, I think like a winning score of like, I don't know, 11 under, 12 under.
I think that seems good. I think that's.
There you go. All right. Well, before we get to all the tiers, let's take a quick commercial break. And have you signed up for Edge Boost yet? If not, you're missing out. Edge Boost is the world's first bet now, pay later Visa card. So similar to buy now, pay later programs, Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest in payback the advance over 4 equal weekly installments. That's right, 0% interest on that. So simply deposit funds into your account and Edge Boost will match the deposit so you can use 2 times the funds on any legal sports betting site. And Edge currently offers up to $2,500 in advances, up to $2,500. You just add to your bankroll today. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to sign up today. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge. Must be 21 years or older to use. Only valid in legal gambling states. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Let's go right to the $10,000 range. It starts with Scotty Scheffler at 11.3, John Rahm at $11,000, Patrick Cantlay at 10.5, Xander Schauffele at 10.2. And so early projections right now, just a ton of ownership on 4 of the 5 guys here. Scotty, Rahm, Cantlay, Xander, all pulling at least right now close to 20% ownership. All of them have various success here. I guess let me kick it off to you. Is there any of those 4? I guess who has the biggest bust potential?
That's a good question. I'd probably have to say, what we saw from John Rahm at the PGA Championship was so crazy. Like, that was so out of nowhere. I did not think he was going to have that performance that round 1, and he never got back into it. What Scotty Scheffler's doing tee to green is truly astronomical, truly insane, and he's not going to need to make. But you could have said the same thing last week. He didn't need to make that many putts, and he still didn't win that tournament. So I don't know, Pat. That's a great question. Probably Xander Schauffele, because the top 3 are just that much higher tee to green wise right now. So I would have to go with Xander, and then Rory, I guess, is a mixed bag right now. But if we're gonna get a low on Rory, like you're saying, I could be a part of that, definitely.
Yeah, so I'll do my spiel right now before we make a transition to Roy, because that's a guy I want to talk about, because that is definitely the pivot player here. I guess of those 4, probably Xander's my pick. If you look at what he's done at Memorial, like overall, it's really good, but it's a lot of just top 20 finishes. I don't think he's finished
the classic Xander.
Right. And like, maybe this is just my problem. I bet him so much. And I looked at him this week. I was like, am I really going to do this again with Xander? And, he's just solid in every category. It looks good, but it's good for like a T12 finish. And at like 10-2 with that ownership, I think I'd rather have Cantlay, who seems like he's automatic at this place. I'm willing to pay up for Rahm and Scheffler. Rahm, I think, is going to bounce back. Obviously really comfortable with this golf course. Everything still looks okay with him. And then Scheffler, like I have not, I manually track my stats. I don't think I've had a guy as hot tee to green as I've ever tracked. Like, he's averaging, what's over his 12 rounds? 3.4 strokes tee to green per round over his last 12 rounds.
Nuts.
Is just
truly insane.
Absolutely nuts. So, tomorrow on the betting show, you'll probably see an appearance from Scotty Scheffler at some point. I feel like it just, I got to get in my car. But let's transition to Rory here, because he is definitely not popular, drawn sub 10% ownership, but he's coming off a T7 finish at the PGA. Things seem like they're trending in the right direction there. I guess, what do you think maybe is scaring people off of Rory? Or is it just a situation where just you can't pick everybody and he's just the odd man out?
I think Rory himself is getting people off Rory. Just his quotes, him saying, I don't have my best stuff right now. Him saying on Friday going into that tournament, I don't think I could. He literally said he didn't think he could win after his Thursday or Friday round, just based off the game he had. And he goes out, finishes T7, gained over 7 strokes on approach. That's playing golf, and we know it's close. We know he's close. But whenever a golfer says he's close, AKA Justin Thomas, this whole season he says he's close, and it just hasn't came. I don't want to get into a motion, which I do a lot, where I'm just chasing a golfer to win. not necessarily does Rory have to win the golf tournament to be profitable in DFS, but I'm just talking like overall. So I don't know how much I want to chase Rory. If the ownership is there, I can get to it, but he still gained 7 strokes on approach. He had nothing off the tee, which I wouldn't say he needs to have his best stuff off the tee at this golf course, but if he gains 7 strokes again on approach, look out for sure.
Yeah, I guess thinking about Rory, the one place where it seems like things could go awry with him is definitely the driver. I mean, he said that at the PGA, he just didn't really know where it was going.
Right.
I can attest for it, seeing it in person there. And, I mean, I looking at his accuracy stats, good drive stats, this is definitely the weakest of the 5 guys above $10,000. I guess for DFS purposes, I think it's an easy pivot away from Cantlay and Xander just because it's Rory McIlroy. He's a better player. And even though the other 2 guys have better stats, I mean, Cantlay can definitely finish, like 22nd, and Rory finishes in the top 10. Same thing with Xander. He can kind of bust out. I guess it comes down to a decision of like, if you're dead set on if you want to go Scheffler, I don't think you should just pivot to Rory just for the sake of it. I think you just stick with Scotty and then differentiate somewhere else. But if you wanted to start your DFS lineup, in the mid 10s there, I think Rory's definitely the easy pivot away from the other 2, especially with their ownership.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a case of we don't see it as much as we did in the last few years because of all these elevated events, but every single year, for example, like the RBC Heritage, an event like that, there's always that one trendy guy who's above average golfer, but not like an elite. Like a Corey Connors going into the week who's just trending amazingly. All the numbers look awesome. Everyone will play him. And then there's just a guy like Patrick Cantlay who's just $300 more expensive, but no one plays him because they want to play that trendy golfer who's coming in good form, who's not like a regular name. And that just overall better golfer who might not be in the best form always seems to have the better week in that given situation. So I think it could be a variation of that where Rory McIlroy, he's not in the best form. Patrick Cantlay's checking every single box, looks amazing at this golf course, but no one will question you that Rory McIlroy is a better golfer than Patrick Cantlay like over time. So I think it could be a situation like that.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're on the same page as far as everybody over $10,000. So before we get to the rest of the pricing, let's take one other quick commercial break. We're brought to you by the SGPN app. We're home to all of your free picks and podcasts in one convenient app. Plus, we have exclusive free roll contest links. So download the SGPN app for free in the App Store or the Google Play Store today. All right, $9,000 range. So I think I want to start right at the top with Collin Morikawa. And he's drawing moderate ownership right now, about 14%. Obviously, he's got a win here with the Workday Charity Open. He finished second to Cantlay in that playoff. So I watched a lot of him because I placed a bet on him at Colonial. Something just seems off with him, and it seems like he doesn't really know where things are going off the tee. It's a lot of just, he hits that pad and fade, but it's a little too fadey, misses it to the right there. And I guess that's a concern of mine, coming in where you can't really spray the ball. I guess, how do you feel about Collin this week as far as he's coming back to it? He owns these Jack Nicklaus tracks, one here, one at Concession 2. Is this maybe a get right spot for him? Or do you kind of get the same feeling as I do? Like something's kind of wrong with this dude.
I think it's all ownership for me. If Collin Morikawa is coming in like seriously is the odd man out in this range, which he might be, because I feel like he's just a bit overpriced. Like you could definitely say that Hovland should be priced higher than him in this field. So yeah, I think it's all ownership. If that ownership doesn't go his way, it's obviously a golf course he's had success on. This is probably the best field he's ever been in at this golf course, so maybe it won't turn out as well for him. So it's going to be definitely something I'm going to monitor into the week. But if the ownership is right, I can get to Collin. I wrote him up, but I agree with you. Something does not look right on this golf course, but he can turn it on in a second. We'll see where the ownership goes.
Yeah, and I bet Collin a lot this year, and it seems like he's got like an attitude, like when things kind of go south with him, like it just looks like he gets frustrated, kind of checks out a little bit. And I'm wondering if that's kind of going on with him right now, because the iron play has been absolutely phenomenal, but the putter has been working again. Seems like he's had some driver issues. I think he switched drivers at the beginning of the year, went back to his old sim.
Yeah, he switched twice.
Yeah, so maybe he's just caught in between. I don't know. So, and right below him, you got Victor Hovland. I mean, great at the PGA, was doing really well last week until that back nine. He just completely blew up there. He's actually drawn kind of similar ownership as Morikawa is this week, but I think Hovland's going to be a pretty popular DFS play. So I guess the question with him is like everything looks good except for what we saw at the PGA with his around the green game, which looked really solid. Is that kind of legit now, or was that maybe just smoke and mirrors and he kind of just regresses to the mean here?
I think it's been brewing the past few months, and he hits good around the green shots, but I know you're not on Twitter, but he'll still hit that one really bad around the green shot, and everyone will make a big fuss about it. But it's definitely in the right direction. I think Hovland is a decent play. This is his third week in a row. I think he's not going to play next week because there's a major the week after that. Maybe a little bit of fatigue. He definitely got off to a bit of a slow start at Colonial, rid the ship Friday, Saturday, and then for majority on Sunday, and then just the wheels fell off late. I had a Hovland ticket. I was like, he's right there. He's in striking distance. And then it didn't come to fruition. But if the ownership is similar to Morikawa, I don't think you, especially at lesser price, you have to go to Hovland, right? If the ownership's the same.
I think so. I mean, the tiebreaker for me is just I think Hovland has better command with his tee shots right now. He hits that patented fade, sure. And a Nicholas course is hitting a fade is just golden there. And I mean, Morikawa and Hovland, they're both kind of struggle a little bit around the green, and Hovland seems like he's got the putter kind of figured out. I guess I'm maybe a little gun shy of the fact that I'm worried about that really bad around the green game to come back. He's had some really ugly performances around the green here. At actual Memorials. And like the Workday Charity Open, he played well, but the other ones though, he's lost a billion strokes around the green here. So we'll see. So I guess who are some other guys you like in this range? I mean, Hatton's drawing a lot of ownership. Justin Thomas kind of middling there. Fitzpatrick's not really drawing a whole lot. Do you like any of those three?
Yeah, I'm going to Jason Day. Yeah, we skipped right over Jason Day. I'm going to go to Jason Day. This is arguably some of the best form he's been in heading into the Memorial the last few years, and it's a home game. He lives in this area. He knows this place better than anyone. He has a T4 finish 2 years ago, and I think he made the cut last year and finished somewhere in the 30s. But what we've seen from Jason Day these past few months and this season is not world number one Jason Day, but it's trending in the right direction, and it's awesome to see he's making those strides back. Obviously, he won in Texas a few weeks ago, and then you were obviously at the PGA Championship. Did you watch any of Jason Day?
Honestly, it was so chaotic there that
I heard.
It's just, I mean, there were so many people. You kind of had to just pick your spots.
Yeah,
I didn't see much of Jason Day that week. I mean, we were with Andy Lack, and he just wanted to watch Rory. And I was at Boston Capper. He just wanted to watch Keegan. So that's kind of where I was watching a lot of golf there.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't see much of him that day. But I think what might draw me Jason Day is A, low ownership. B, if this is going to be like one of those really firm, difficult, no one's hitting greens, up and down contests, like I wanted Jason Day. At that point, I mean, like in this range, no one is better. I mean, other than Fitzpatrick, no one's really better at getting up and down than he is. Have you seen his house, by the way, in the area? So he used to live in Murphy Village, and then I think there was like a YouTube video where they actually went to his house. He's got
so cool.
I've
seen that video.
Yeah, he's got those 3 greens back there, and
sick.
That was actually when he was slumping.
Yeah.
And I saw that video because I've always had the notion that like this guy just doesn't really care. He got to world number 1. And like when I saw that video, that really changed my perspective on him. Where like, okay, this guy wants to continue to improve. He wants to get back. And yeah, I'm kind of happy he's, back, being, like 85, 90% of Jason Day what he was. So yeah. I can definitely see him doing well this week. I mean, Hatton's getting a lot of steam this week.
Yeah.
I guess I want to talk about Justin Thomas, and you kind of mentioned he keeps saying he's close. Well, I also think he's getting close. I mean, I don't really know what happened at the PGA. Everything kind of went off the rails, but just looking at the last couple months with him, it seems like there's a couple areas where he's improving. He seems like he's starting to drive the ball a lot better. He seems like he's hitting a lot more fairways recently. The iron play has been really good. Around the green is really solid. And I think back of just some times when He's done really good on some firm golf courses like a Southern Hills. He won last year. That Players, it was pretty firm that year. Won there too. Difficult conditions, obviously, premium iron play, getting up and down. If he's in a lot of fairways and strong about 10% ownership, I kind of like him this week. And maybe as a little bit of a pivot away from Hatton, who I like. I mean, it looks good, but I think I'd rather take Justin Thomas at half the ownership than Hatton.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And obviously, Justin Thomas did not perform well at the PGA Championship. He lost ball striking, and he has not lost in consecutive starts ball striking since June of 2017. So, just based off that, that ball striking should go to the green this week. So hopefully he could dial in that iron game. And Justin Thomas is a lineup lock for me week in, week out, just because I know as soon as I hop off of him, he's going to have that, okay, here's that Justin Thomas win that happens every year when everyone hops off him. So I'm going to find a way, no matter who I get to at the top in this range, Justin Thomas will find a way in a majority of my lineups this week.
Yeah, his outright price is kind of tasty. I've seen a 35 on him floating around, and I don't think I've seen that in a while from Justin Thomas there. And then I guess a couple other guys in this range too. So I'm surprised that Fitzpatrick is drawing not a ton of ownership. I mean, he kind of fits a lot what you're looking for. Like, I mean, overall, he's usually accurate off the tee, although lately that hasn't been the case. But the long iron play has been really good with him over the last year and a half or so. Really good around the green, really good bentgrass putter. He's got that third place finish in 2020 when it was really firm, which is, I think, how this golf course might play. I guess, did that miscut at the PGA? Was that enough to just kind of put a bad taste in people's mouths? Or is there another reason why maybe no one's going to him this week?
Yeah, it's weird from Fitz because he had one good week at Augusta after having so many poor weeks, and then went out and won, and then it's back to being bad. So I don't really I don't really have a strong feeling about him. I just think I'm going to stick to my guys and just in this range, I'm going to go Day and Justin Thomas because I don't really feel too strong, especially Hatton's getting a bit chalky. I think I'm going to just rock with Day and Thomas and go from there.
Okay. All right, let's move down to the $8,000 range. Two really chalky guys. Unfortunately, I kind of wish they weren't chalky. I thought I was going to be alone on Hideki Island this week, especially because he kind of faded at the PGA, cost some people some positionals with a bad Sunday there. But, I saw the ball striking numbers look really good. Up around the greens really good. I think that's going to match his game. I've seen him do really well in firm golf course, but he is absolutely uber popular this week. And same thing with Ricky Fowler. So I guess of the two, kind of similar question I asked you at the beginning of the show here, of Ricky and Hideki, who do you think busts?
I would say it's weird because I feel like they're both perfect, like backdoor T15 finishers. Because Hideki will have that one stretch on Sunday where he birdies 5 out of 6 and just finds himself like, oh, and here's Hideki 3 shots off the lead. And then Ricky just finds that bogey-free round, just birdies. Like he always has that one just clean round and it just moves him so far up the leaderboard. I'll go with Hideki to bust. I just think Ricky's playing overall more solid at the moment. I'll go Hideki to bust, but I don't really think I'm going to get to either of those two guys.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Ricky's been kind of just cashing top 20s over the last 3 months or so. Yeah, I mean, I like Hideki's upside, but he definitely, I think, has the biggest bust potential. I can't tell if he's healthy or not. He just missed a couple weeks ago at Quail Hollow. Then he came back and looked okay for a couple of rounds of the PGA, and then Sunday he just was terrible. He's been really up and down this year. I don't know. I'll probably say Hideki. I mean, definitely at DFS, probably staying away from him because there's actually a lot of contrarian plays in this range. It seems like if you didn't go Hideki or Fowler, just it's kind of a wasteland after this play. So Cam Young, let's talk about him. So doesn't really fit the blueprint of what you're really looking for this place. Bomber, can spray it a little bit, not really good around the green. Obviously didn't have a very good PGA Championship. Just hasn't really been all that good in general, but man, his ownership is 3.2% right now. And I remember last 100%. Year because I think I bet him and he was actually in the top 10 going to the final round, and then he put up an 85.
I remember that. That was funny.
It was very weird. So it almost seems like if it really is 3% for Cam Young, it feels like you got to just have him some of your lineups just because it's Cam Young at this point. Do you agree with that?
100. I couldn't agree with you more. And the same exact thing happened last summer heading into the Open Championship. He was chalk, Cam Young week, chalk, chalk. Then he had those 3 bad tournaments, almost wins the Open Championship. I might bet Cam Young this week because just people are forgetting about him, and he's as talented as anyone, and we're getting him at a price point that we see him in this upper 9K range all season long, and now we're getting him in the 8K range. Warranted, he hasn't been playing the best golf, but all that hometown New York narrative, obviously it's not his hometown, but you know what I'm saying. All the Twitter build up, all the narrative, flop leg, we're going to Cam Young. I'm not 3% is crazy. I think it's going to be coming in a little higher than that, but if it is 3%, consider me. I'll find a way to get Cam Young in for sure. He's definitely one of my guys in this week.
Yeah, all of Rochester was just absolutely crushed our hometown hero of Cam Young.
Hometown, yeah.
Did not bring home the bacon. No, it was all over the papers up here that just fell short of expectations. So, all right. So, a couple other guys, they're drawing about similar ownership down in the low 8s here. You got Shane Lowry, Adam Scott, and Siwoo Kim. I mean, all these guys have pretty decent course history here. They check a lot of boxes. I guess of those 3, which one you like the best, Lowry, Siwoo, or Adam Scott?
Adam Scott, 100%. He's putting on a clinic off the tee at the moment. He's made his last 9 cuts here, and he has multiple top 15 finishes in his career. Just like Jason Day, he's an old elite golfer who's finding his game again and is really coming into form. I think Adam Scott is due for a great performance. We saw that round 1 of the PGA Championship. He was in the lead. I think that frost lay in the morning really did a lot for him because he had to go back out in the morning, play his last hole and a half. He made a double on 18 from 160 yards in the middle of the fairway and then was not right from there. But the ball striking has been awesome for Adam Scott. I'm sticking with him. I'm going to go with Adam Scott 100%, 8K.
Yeah. I had a first round leader for Adam Scott.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I had him and DJ. And DJ bogeyed 18. And Adam Scott made a mess at 18. I was like,
from the middle of the fairway too, with 163.
Yeah, like at that point, like I'm like, all right, just knock on the green, 2 putt, just get out of there. Like I'll take a chop at 90-1, and then DJ I think was like 45-1, just make a par.
That's sick. Yeah, I did not know that.
That was a rough weekend. I mean, I had a lot of fun, but the betting card, I really could have used that. But
yeah, I had him outright. I didn't know. First round leader would have stung though. I would have been bad.
Yeah, that wasn't great. But I mean, I think I agree with you. I think if I had to rank them, I would rank them Adam Scott first. I like what he's been doing with the irons lately. Pretty good from over 175, good around the green, good bent grass putter too. So I like him. I'll probably go with probably Siwoo next because I think his around the green game is better than Lowry's at this point. And then Lowry's probably third, although if it's really difficult conditions with his solid ball striking, he's got a couple good finishes here. I could see that. And then last but not least, so Sahith Theegala had a pretty good finish last year. He tends to kind of show up when you expect it because, he's kind of a sprayer of the ball, but 100%. A lot of these golf courses where you kind of got to nut up and not hit it, blast it all over the planet, he kind of elevates his game here. So, and he's not really drawing a ton of ownership. Is there any interest in Sahith this week, or do you think maybe some of his loose driving can get the best of him?
Yeah, Sahith is a guy for me who I'll bet or play if the number's right because just like you said, he doesn't really on paper he doesn't really fit anywhere unless it's Detroit Golf Club, but he's such a unicorn. We saw him contend at Travelers where it's tight. You got to hit all these fairways. He was ripping hybrids off the tees. But then when he hits driver, he's all over the place. And then he'll chip in. It's just a crazy game that Sahith plays. So if the ownership is there, maybe I can find a little bit. But I think I really love Adam Scott in this range. It's just Sahith is such a weird golfer. I'll bet him at 60-1 in a shit field. But I'm not really a Sahith guy just because I don't really understand him.
Yeah, with Sahith, he's all over the map where he'll have really good spike weeks with ball striking, but then it's just blended with a bunch of really garbage stuff. And he never looks good then in any of the models because all that stuff is kind of baked in there. So yeah, I don't think I ever really get Sahith right. When I kind of get a feeling like, all right, I kind of want to bet him, he usually like craters. If I'm off him, he usually does really well. So maybe I just stick to the sidelines, don't fade him, don't use him, and go from there. All right, $7,000 range. Let's move down there. So I guess who are like, like just a couple guys you like? Let's start anything over $7,500. Who are a couple guys above 7,500 that you like this week?
The Gary Woodland ball striking is crazy. What are you seeing early ownership on him? Just,
you know what? It wasn't as high as I thought it was. I think it's because people just got really burned by him at the PGA. Only about 8%, which is lower than. I mean, it's about par with everybody else in that range, but I was expecting probably double digits, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting to Woodland because he, like you said, he burned everyone at the PGA. His first time losing on approach since the API, and then since that API cut, he's been amazing on approach. And this is not a golf course where Gary Woodland's going to have to roll in 23 birdie putts. So if he can hit a lot of greens, 2-putt and get out of there, I can get down with Woodland. I haven't really been it's Monday night, so I haven't really deep dived this range too hard. I like Tom Kim when no one's on him on difficult golf courses, but I would probably go with Gary for now. I don't mind Keegan either.
Okay. I mean, like with Tom Kim, it kind of fits a lot of what you're looking for. Really accurate off the tee. The iron plays have been really good. He's actually been really good from over 175 this year too. Around the greens, a little bit of a mixed bag, but hasn't been putting all that great. But that's essentially kind of what you're looking for at this golf course. Throw away the putter as long as you're really solid with the ball striking, keep it in the fairway. And he's definitely not drawing a ton of ownership right now. It's probably just because his results have been kind of meh lately. But I think this actually might be a golf course maybe that Tom Kim might do well at. I mean, if Billy Horschel could win here, like a guy like Tom Kim can definitely do an impression of that. Same thing with Russell Henley. He's actually had a lot of success here. He's hit the ball pretty well tee to green at Murrayfield Village, keeps the ball in the fairway. His iron number's been really good lately. I'm not too crazy about his, shots over 175, but he has proven he can get around this course. Good around the green too. That can also work. Yeah, I guess I agree with you with Woodland too. I mean, I got him starred here. Obviously, the ball striking is really good. Around the green, I'm a little iffy on him, but yeah, like probably Tom Kim, Henley, and Woodland probably.
I have a question for you about Tom Kim.
Yeah.
What is the difference for these last few months between Tom Kim and Colin Morikawa?
Oh man. Not much.
Not much.
To be perfectly honest.
Not much. I think I just thought to myself that, like, looking at their build, their player profile, there's not much of a difference. And Tom Kim has won more times than Colin Morikawa has in that frame. So at what, 7,900, if you want to play a $10,000 Colin Morikawa or whatever he is, why not just play Tom Kim? Like,
yeah,
there's not much of a
you
difference.
actually make an excellent point. So over the last 50 rounds, I have Morikawa gaining about 0.34 strokes off the tee. Tom Kim's gaining 0.28. Approach play, Morikawa has him, but I mean, Tom Kim's still gaining 0.7 strokes with his irons. Morikawa's gaining over a stroke. They're both about the same around the green, and they're both putting horribly. So yeah, basically, Tom Kim equals Colin Morikawa. There's your hot take.
I just thought about it. I just thought that when we were talking about it. I'm gonna tweet that tonight. What's the difference between Tom Kim and Colin Morikawa? Because I think I'm gonna play Tom Kim if I have anything in my mind brings me to Colin Morikawa. I'm just gonna put all that on Tom Kim. Maybe even in the betting market. I really might.
That's going to be music to my co-host here, Boston Capper, because he is definitely out on Morikawa. So I think the fact we just compared him to Tom Kim, he's probably going to chuckle into like, don't dislodge that stent though. Okay. Don't laugh too hard. Okay. So, all right, let's go to the lower $7,000 range. Anything under $7,500 there. I guess I'll start off with a couple guys I like. I mean, Ben On is really popular, but I mean, I think of the guys who recently graduated from the Korn Ferry Tour, and they're technically rookies, even though he isn't. I mean, I think he's the best of the bunch. Obviously, been on the PGA Tour, has a lot of really good success. Honestly, I'm not really impressed with a lot of guys of these rookie classes. So, and he's hitting the ball pretty good, got some decent results at Murrayfield Village. As long as the ownership isn't too crazy, although I think I saw it's double digits on him. So I probably would want to pivot. Maybe Chris Kirk. I mean, kind of similar vein. Like if I like a Russell Henley or if I like a Tom Kim, I mean, although Chris Kirk was kind of bad last week at Colonial when I was on.
At a golf course, you should have performed well on.
Yeah, so maybe that's maybe I go away from Brian Harmon. Maybe I know his course history was pretty bad, but he kind of showed some signs of life the last couple weeks. I mean, he was, I think, close to the top 10 before he had kind of a bad, final 9 holes there too. I mean, that could be a pivot away from Christian Bazane, who's drawn about 10% ownership, and Harmon's drawn about 3%. So there's that. I mean, Cage Lee's been hitting the ball pretty well lately too. He's drawing kind of low ownership.
I don't love this range, and this is a range I truly never touch because every single week I deep dive the 6K range fairly hard. So when I always play 6K guys and I have a decent amount of them, so I just kind of just naturally have to skip this range and even kind of the whole 7K to begin with. And I pride myself on being really good at like being ahead of those trendy 6K guys. Like before Tano Goya, I was on like Tano Goya at like the Farmers, and then he got a little popular, just like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to probably find some guys in the 6K range because like you said, you're just listing off some guys you didn't really love either. There's no one in this range that really turns my head like I need to get in my lineup. Ryan Fox maybe has some upside at 7-1 just because the not knowing aspect and just that how sick of a ball striker he kind of is. But no one, I might not, probably won't get there. I'll find some guys in the 6K range. I don't really love anyone here.
Yeah, I mean, like, they all kind of got their warts. I mean, I don't know if I really want to go Patrick Rogers with iron plays really falling off, and he kind of sprays off T. Dietrich. I just never trust either. Seamus Power, I don't really trust on difficult golf courses. Hayden Buckley burned everybody last week, including me. I don't know if I want to go back to that. Steven Yeager, that train might have derailed too. Bo Hostler, gross. So, yeah, like, it's probably going right to the 6s. Because there's not really a whole lot of difference between some of the guys down there and some of the guys, I like up top. So, all right. So I don't want to spoil your 6K video that's going to come out. It's a great video. Go check it out on our YouTube page if you haven't already. But just how about just one guy in the 6K range you just absolutely love this week?
All right, we'll go up to the top. I'm going to play Justin Suh at 6 and 9.
Okay.
I was on him last week, and he had a tough round 4. He was like trending in that top 15, top 10, all week, and then he had a rough Sunday. But Justin Suh was mega chalk in that Florida swing, and then he flamed out. He lost all the ball striking. At the PGA, he found something, and he found something again at the Charles Schwab. I think we stay ahead of Justin Suh because he became mega chalk at the end of that Florida run, and I want to stay ahead of that. So I'm going to ride the Justin Suh train for as long as possible.
Okay. I actually kind of like that. I mean, he is definitely streaky, but he has shown some signs of life. I mean, he played well at the PGA, played all right for most of the tournament last week too. So, yeah, I mean, like he was talked about in a similar breath as Morikawa and Hovland and, the dearly departed Matthew Wolff when they came up to the PGA Tour. I never quite clicked for him, and it seems like you see some glimpses, but then he really regresses.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe this is an upswing for him. So I mean some of the popular options down here. I mean, Alex Smalley's been hitting the hell out of the ball lately. I think he's gained like 18 strokes.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
I know. See him playing. Yeah.
I know. So I mean he's been doing pretty well for positionals for me lately. So I mean, I if he's popular, probably shy away, but I mean he's hitting the ball great, and I think he's a talented player. I mean, Kevin Streelman popped his head up last week. He's been hitting the ball pretty good. Good course history here. Accurate. Like he kind of fits a lot of things you're looking for. Decent iron player, good around the green, accurate. That could work too. So Aaron Rye got added to the field. What's his price? What is he? Oh, I don't think he's got a price yet, but I'm going to see him either. I'm going to assume he's probably around $6,700. I kind of like him too. I mean, the iron play has been really good with him. Pretty accurate off the tee. Good scrambler. Doesn't really putt all that great, but that's a mixed bag at this golf course. I think he played all right last week too. So that's a guy.
He flashed on Sunday.
Yeah, if that's a guy who's not drawing a ton of ownership, might go to him on that. Lee Hodges seems like he's kind of woken up lately. I think he gained, where is he? I think he gained like 4 strokes tee to green at the PGA Championship, gained almost 6 last week at Charles Schwab. So maybe that's a guy who's kind of rounding the form. He's hits the ball pretty well off the tee. His iron game's been pretty solid lately. That could be a name there too. Sam Stevens, the ball striking numbers continue to look really good with him. Austin Eckroyd, if you want to continue going with that too. Depends kind of on the ownership there. Yeah, those are just kind of some names I'm throwing out there, but obviously you are the 6K expert. We'll be looking forward to your video.
You say that.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, I think we kind of beat up the ranges pretty good. Matt, thank you for joining us. Why don't you give a little bit of a plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, you guys know where to find me if you follow the Golf Gambling Podcast at Matt_Gannon. Any questions, shoot me over the DM. I'll answer. And you guys know where to find Steve in the Discord. So you'll be seeing a lot more from me on this channel these next few weeks. So hopefully you guys can bear with me and enjoy the content.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. So we will be back tomorrow night with our betting show. We'll go over our outrights, positionals, matchups, all that jazz. So with that, we will talk to you tomorrow night.